Hello and welcome back to part 4. Today we're diving into the heart of the process with the rig, a crucial piece of the puzzle in my workflow. With the FK rig we have the power to modify every aspect of our cat's animation, making it more refined and polished. But that's not all, my friends. We're taking it a step further by learning how to animate our cat's face using the FK rig as well. This will bring our character to life and add that extra touch of expression and emotion. So let's jump right into it. If you're not already in the camera view, switch to it now and open our sequence. In the previous lesson, we baked the animation into an FK rig. Now let's move forward by opening it using the triangle icon on the side. You'll notice that each line represents a bone or a specific part of the body. These names should all sound familiar to you. Now the FK rig is already keyframed, and we want to maintain a non-destructive workflow. So let's add an additive FK rig. To do this, click the plus button next to our existing FK rig. This will create an empty rig that we can experiment with. If you encounter any issues or are not satisfied with the changes, you can simply delete the additional rig or reset the bones to their original positions. This method gives you the freedom to play around with different animations as if they were layers, and you can add as many additive rigs as you wish. Now let's begin keying our new rig. To speed up the process, you can use the search bar at the top. Let's start with the head. When you click on the rig, the entire skeleton becomes visible in the viewport. I prefer to keep it in game view, so you have a clear view of your changes at all times. Let's switch to game view. Play the sequence repeatedly to get an idea of how you want the head to move. For the beginning, I'll keep it as it is. To do that, click the plus icon next to the head, which will key every option of the head. However, I have one specific change in mind. Since the audio features a child talking, I want my cat to look more like a kitten. To achieve this, let's adjust the size of the head. Delete the keyframes next to scale and modify them to achieve the desired appearance. Now you have the choice to keyframe the head scale. But it's not necessary for our current animation. Now let's focus on adding keys for the rotation first, and later we'll do the same for the position. You can keyframe the rotation by selecting the bone you want to animate and then simply pressing the S key. Remember to ensure the bone is selected when you use this shortcut. Additionally, I like to use Ctrl plus Z to undo my changes and Ctrl plus Shift and Z to redo them. This provides a fast and efficient way to keyframe your animation and make adjustments on the go. Follow your intuition and feelings as you work through this process. Play around with the rotation, adjust frames, and be patient. This stage requires your attention and dedication, so keep refining the animation. While the head animation may take some time, I'll show you a more efficient way to keyframe the eyes and mouth. We can keyframe a few frames and then reuse them throughout the animation for these elements. Next, you can keyframe the neck, which is just under the head to give it a more natural movement. Experiment with the position of the neck and the head together to create a unique animation that complements the sound. This allows you to tailor the character's movement to perfectly match the audio and bring your scene to life. So have fun exploring different combinations. Once you are satisfied with the results, you can enhance your view by turning on the cinematic viewport settings if you haven't already. This will give you a higher quality look at your work so far. Additionally, continue playing with the directional light as I showed you earlier to find the best lighting for your scene. Now it's time to make our cat talk. The character I provided you is straightforward to animate. The key options you will need for talking animation are jaw and nose. The nose control manages the upper part of the mouth and nose, while the jaw control handles the cat's jaw movement during speech. With these two options, you can create a lively talking animation for your character. Let's begin by adding a key on the first frame, as our cat is not talking at the beginning. Listen closely to the voice of the cat and identify the moment when it finishes saying the first word. Then play around with correct keying in between those frames. The cat initially says S, so I want you to create a mouth pose for the letter S on the jaw. We will later complement it using the nose options. Repeat this process for each new letter in the speech. If you find yourself needing the same mouth pose again, You can simply go back to the previous S pose you created, copy it, and paste it in the new position. After approximately 30 frames, you should have enough mouth poses that you can reuse and adjust like puzzle pieces to fit the entire speech. This will save you time and effort as you continue animating the cat's talking animation. Taking the time to create and refine these mouth poses will be very beneficial in the long run. Once you have a collection of well-crafted mouth poses, you can easily reuse them in future animations. This will not only save time but also ensure consistency in your character's expressions across different projects. So be patient and put effort into perfecting these poses, as they will become a valuable asset in your animation toolbox. Excellent! Now that you've finished animating the jaw and nose, let's move on to the eyes. Since the eyes move together, you can simply copy and paste their values to ensure consistency in their movements. Use your intuition to select the best speed and motions for the eyes that match the character's expression. For eye blinking, you can follow a similar process. Keyframe the blink once and then copy and paste it wherever you need the character to blink. This technique allows you to quickly add eye blinks wherever necessary, making the animation process more efficient. Remember, animation is a creative process, so trust your instincts and artistic vision to bring your character to life with expressive eye movements and blinks. Keep up the good work. Great job on animating the eyes and lids. As you approach the final stages, it's essential to maintain a non-destructive workflow that allows for easy adjustments. If you find the need to make more changes to the animation, don't worry about dealing with a complex mess of keyframes. Instead, follow a simple approach by adding more additive rigs. To do this, click the plus button next to the primary rig and select additive to create a new layer of animation. This way, you can add as many additive rigs as you need while preserving the original animation in the primary rig. Feel free to experiment and fine-tune your animation until you achieve the desired result. By utilizing additive rigs, you can maintain a flexible and efficient workflow that allows for easy modifications at any stage of the animation process. Keep up the fantastic work, and your character will soon come to life with fluid and captivating movements. As always, remember to save your progress. And you're on your way to creating an animated character with captivating expressions. Fantastic progress so far. Now let's focus on bringing life to the pupils. I've prepared a material instance for the eyes, providing you with complete freedom to modify various settings. First, let's add the pupil dilatation to the sequence. To do this, click the plus icon next to your cat. Add its skeleton mesh to the timeline. This action enables us to incorporate material modifications into the sequence and update any parameters I've prepared for you. Now click the plus icon next to the skeleton mesh we just added and look for the material parameters section. Here, select element 1 for the right eye pupil and element 4 for the left eye pupil to select the pupil scale parameter for each element. Click the plus button next to the element we just added and then choose pupil scale. This will enable you to control the size of each pupil independently. By doing this, you'll be able to control the pupil scale directly in the timeline, allowing for smooth and dynamic eye movements throughout the animation. When your animation is complete and you're satisfied with the results, it's time to prepare it for rendering or exporting. Remember to save all your work to preserve the progress you've made. Great job on creating your animation. Now to preserve all your hard work in one animation file, let's proceed with baking it. This process will convert your animated sequence into a single animation asset that you can use in the future or share with others, as I did with you. To bake the animation, follow these steps. Right-click on your cat character in the sequencer. From the context menu, select Bake to Animation Asset. Choose a folder location where you'd like to save the animation asset. Give it a meaningful name that you can easily recognize and remember. Once the baking process is complete, you'll have a new animation asset file ready to use and keep as a valuable resource. Additionally, I suggest keeping the original level sequence saved, as it provides flexibility for further edit. By taking this step, you're ensuring that your hard work and creativity are secured in a convenient and reusable format. So that's it for part 4 of our animation journey. In the next part, we'll delve into camera animation and rendering, taking our project to a whole new level of visual storytelling. Get ready to create captivating scenes and bring your animation to life with dynamic camera movements. And remember, this process is all about creativity and exploration. Don't be afraid to try new things and make your animation truly unique. So see you in part 5. We'll continue our exciting adventure in Unreal Engine.